leftist, and I have higher principles than truth. Getting rid of a president I don't like is a higher principle than telling anything true. That is their view. They believe what I have just said.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sebastian Gorka at 3 on AM 1250. The Answer.
We are in the middle of a stupidity epidemic. Yeah, it makes for good talk radio anyway, but forget the measles vaccination. How about one for stupidity? It's everywhere, and what we're going to focus on right here, my favorite for right now anyway, is the stupidity in New York and Philadelphia about Kate Smith. The Yankees decided to stop playing her rendition of God Bless America at their games because somebody found out that she recorded some songs that would be considered racially insensitive today. Of course, they were written 85, she did it 85 years ago. Anyway, she is, of course, now a racist. And then the Flyers, after hearing about what the Yankees did, they put out a statement about Kate. And by the way, they have a statue outside their building of Kate Smith. But they released this statement, okay? Now, there's have you ever seen the picture of the statue? Or have you ever seen the statue? It's a nice statue of Kate Smith with her arms raised, and she's singing the song. Anyway, the Flyers, this is their release, their statement. The Flyers have enjoyed a long and popular relationship with God Bless America as performed by the late Kate Smith. It doesn't describe it completely. It's a total fixation, obsession, and adoration of Kate Smith that the Flyers fans have had, and a huge part of their culture. Anyway, this is what they said. The Flyers have enjoyed a long and popular relationship with God Bless America as performed by the late Kate Smith, a woman who was awarded the Presidential Medal of Honor for her patriotic contributions to our nation. But in recent days, we learned that several of the songs Kate Smith performed in the 1930s include lyrics and statements that are incompatible with the values of our organization and evoke painful and unacceptable themes. The NHL principle, hockey is for everyone, quote unquote, is at the heart of everything the Flyers stand for, said Flyers President Paul Holmgren. As a result, we cannot stand idle while material from another era gets in the way of who we are today. Now, while Kate Smith's performance of God Bless America cannot be erased from its place in Flyers history, that rendition will no longer be featured in our game presentations. And to ensure these sentiments stirred this week are no longer echoed, earlier today we completed the removal of the Kate Smith statue from its former location outside of our arena. Now, if she's such a bad person that we should not be remembering, why are you removing shouldn't the statue be just destroyed and blown up? Just get rid of it. Where are you going to put it? That it's not going to offend somebody. By the way, that statement by the Flyers is called caving with a capital C, or gutless with a capital G, however you want to go with that. And we'll talk about that with a columnist from Philadelphia after the break. Then there's this one little stupid thing that it's very strange, but we'll be seeing and hearing more about this. What is an Easter worshiper? Both Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, and I think maybe some more Democrats or liberals, referred to the people murdered by suicide bombers in Sri Lanka as Easter worshipers. I never in my life. If it was a Christmas party, would they say Christmas worshipers? I've never heard that expression in my life. Anyway, I don't know about you, but that sounds kind of strange. And is it that hard to refer to them as Christians? I don't know. Maybe there's nothing to it. I'm just telling you, I have never heard that expression, Easter worshipers, and who came up with that? And why did they both use it? And both are Christians, supposedly. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to talk about the evil singer of this song. Have you heard the crack of the bat, the cheers of the crowd? Have you seen the smiles on the faces of the players as they take the field? I'm not talking about the Pirates. I'm talking about what's happening in Moon Township that can only be described as a miracle. This is John Steigerwald. With the help of Pirates charities and people like yourself, the Miracle League of Moon Township has broken ground on a brand new ball field and adaptive playground where athletes with special needs can play regardless of their ability. At miraclesinmoon.org, you can see the stunning plans for the 9,500 square foot playground and state-of-the-art ADA-compliant restroom facility with showers, wave technology, multi-level fountains and sinks, mechanical changing tables, and more. It's incredible. Our goal? To raise the remaining funds they need to bring it home by first pitch this September. Check it out at miraclesinmoon.org/donate and make your tax-deductible gift today. That's miraclesinmoon.org/donate. This message paid for by Robinson Town Center, a Zamias Properties entity. If you're an employer, a business owner, if you have 5 to 100 employees, listen up. The cost of doing business continues to skyrocket, strangling your HR department with more regulations, administrative duties, and liability than ever. I'm John Steigerwald. Your health plan's a big part of that cost. Another year, another 10% rate hike, another $1,000 increase on your deductible, another hospital or doctor you can't go to because they're not in the network. Isn't it time for a change? Well, stop the insanity and call Marley Financial, the most innovative agency in the industry. Put an end to the annual increase. Give your employees a national network that all hospitals accept and reduce your monthly premiums by 20 to 30%. It doesn't matter when your renewal is. Marley can help today. Call 724-884-1496. Marley Financial, 724-884-1496. 724-884-1496.
Have you tried digital marketing but don't know if it's getting you customers? Got different companies running your web design, social media marketing, and geofencing, but not sure which is working and which is a waste of your dollars? Contact us at Salem Surround, digital marketing experts who offer a free analysis of your digital marketing effectiveness and suggest methods that could dramatically increase your sales. We can put all your digital marketing under one roof, give you monthly reports on results, and instantly move your dollars to the most effective areas of your digital marketing suite. Social marketing, geofencing, web search enhancement, event targeting, and more. Now there are no limitations on where you can reach customers with Salem Surround. Total market penetration for increased ROI. Learn more by logging on to surroundpittsburgh.com. Surroundpittsburgh.com. Connecting you with new customers.
If you take a look around your hometown, you might notice that there seems to be a mattress store on every corner, each with a different sale every weekend. Where do you start? And how do you know if you're actually getting a good value? Here at the Original Mattress Factory, what you see is what you get. You'll find our hand-built, high-quality mattresses at the same great price every day. Stop by one of our local factories or stores to experience the Original Mattress Factory difference. Great beds, no bull.
The gimmicks, the flashy sales, and the big markups. Mattress stores have made the mattress shopping experience confusing on purpose. Ron Trzynski started the Original Mattress Factory to create a better way. He raised the bar on quality, offered hand-built mattresses for a fraction of the cost, and ditched the high-pressure sales tactics, all to create a better mattress buying experience for you. You could say he was the original disruptor. Stop by an Original Mattress Factory store or visit us at originalmattress.com to see the OMF difference for yourself.
You're listening to The John Steigerwald Show on AM 1250. The Answer.
Well, by now you've heard about the stupidity in Philadelphia. Kate Smith is now not only not an icon, she is a bad person because of some songs she sang 85 years ago. Christine Flowers is a columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer and a radio host in Philadelphia. She joins us now, except that her call just dropped, so I'll have to tap dance for a minute. In case you missed it, just tuning in, I think you've heard the story that Kate Smith, the icon in Philadelphia, who I'm sure if you're a Penguins fan, you don't like Kate Smith for those reasons. Maybe if you hate the Flyers, you don't like her because she's part of their tradition. But she's a big, big, big deal in Philadelphia, and because of some songs that were that she sang, she's been dead for a long time, so she hasn't been singing for a while. So she sang these songs back in the 30s. And, of course, there were some lyrics in there that people didn't like. That people would frown on because they are deemed to be racist. And, of course, they were sung at a time, in a different time, back in the 1930s. So, but we're now judging people who lived 100 years ago based on our values today. That's been going on a lot. But Christine Flowers now joins us. Thanks for being here, Christine.
Hey, John, my pleasure. Sorry about that little bit of a glitch before. I think it has to do with some of the people in the Flyers front office. They didn't want me speaking to you today.
Yeah. We've had you on before. I always like having you on, and you wrote a column about this. But let's, for people here in Pittsburgh, as I said while we were trying to get you reconnected there, Penguins fans know all about Kate Smith, and they probably don't like her because she's such a part of the team that they are supposed to hate so much. So, but beyond that, that's where it began. This love affair with Kate Smith in Philadelphia way back in '74, '75 when they won the Stanley Cup. So how is this Kate Smith band playing in Philadelphia right now? I got to believe it's great for the talk show business.
It is. I spent almost 3 hours talking about it last night on my Sunday night show. It's interesting, John. There is, I would say, from what I've been able to assess from the people in my listening audience, people in my social media circle, people who are generally just, walking the streets of Philadelphia, they're outraged, they're angry, they're hurt, they're worried that this is a harbinger of things to come. If, however, you speak to if you try and speak to the front office of the Flyers, you will get nowhere because they have this wall of silence. They put out that one statement basically excusing themselves for taking this action, and that's basically it. I've called, I've left messages, I've emailed, nothing. That might just be a function of the fact that I don't have the clout that I think I do. But they really are erecting a wall of silence. They know that they have made a huge mistake. Strangely enough, the sportscasters, radio sportscasters in the city of Philadelphia, and some of whom actually work on the floor below mine at the radio station that I work at, are strangely cooperative, let's say, with the front office of the Flyers. They're in agreement, let's say, with the fact that, oh my goodness, there is racism in society and there is Jim Crow, and we can't have any vestige of that in the present day. And I think, I have very little respect for them because I think they're really trying to hold on to their jobs because they have to deal with the Flyers organization. I don't. I'm not a sportscaster. That's not my bread and butter. A lot of these guys who are on sports radio in Philadelphia have to cultivate their relationships. And so I think that they are afraid of going up against the guys in the front office. And it angers me, John, because, listen, I don't expect sympathy from the people in Pittsburgh with respect to the Philadelphia Flyers. I, myself, have been a Flyers fan since going on over 40 years now. I was at the Spectrum both years that they won the Stanley Cup, back-to-back Stanley Cups, and that was so long ago, in the midst of time. But I have held this great love, this identification with the Broad Street Bullies, and so have the vast majority of Philadelphians who are interested in hockey. And they really have been betrayed by people who I don't even think have an understanding of what the Flyers represent to the people of Philadelphia. These are outsiders. Paul Holmgren is a manager, and he obviously does have some understanding of Philadelphia, but I don't think it was his decision. It was the decision of the guys at Comcast, the guys who are, the honchos. This is what I said. Yeah, the suits. This is what I said. This is billionaire white male guilt. These are guys who have been pressured into this whole #MeToo, Black Lives Matter, Time's Up, we have to be sensitive to this and that and that. And any time there is a suggestion or, as the French would say, soupçon, even if it's just an idea that there might be something offensive to 1.3% of the population, they, in a knee-jerk fashion, sort of say, "Oh my goodness, yes, we need to appear tolerant and woke and evolve." And so I think that this is what they are doing. I think that they miscalculated grossly. I don't think that they thought that the removal of the statue would make such a splash because, granted, she has been dead for 30 years. It is, her song was played numerous times, but her role as a good luck charm, many of the people who go to the Flyers games right now probably weren't even born when, Kate Smith had her heyday with the Flyers, and some were even born after she passed away. But they miscalculated because the people who support the Flyers and who are always there in the stands are not taking this well. And I even said, I put on my Facebook page, I'm done. I'm finished with the Flyers. I'm disgusted. I had initially considered rooting for the Penguins, but that was even too much for me.
Too hard.
I couldn't move quite that far.
Yeah.
So now I'm rooting for the Jersey Devils.
Okay. Now, here's the thing, though, Christine. When you mentioned the sportscasters, and I've dealt with that here as a sportscaster for a long time, and I never allowed it to prevent me from saying things about the teams. Good. But I did find myself compromised because my bosses at the station who were carrying the preseason games and wanted to continue carrying them. For example, with the Steelers, they were very quick to defend the Steelers or try to prevent some of us from saying everything we wanted to say. Let's put it that way. I know that they get some. You want to keep your job, and there's a fine line between having guts and eating. Making a car payment.
That's actually a great point that you make there, and I think you're probably right. Somebody even told me, somebody who knows, who has some inside knowledge of this, said that there are a lot of people in the Flyers organization that are upset that they can't come out and say anything. And I would assume, I think you're right, I would assume that some of the sportscasters are upset about this as well, but they don't want to come out. There is I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I read the Flyer statement on the air before we went to the commercial, before we put you on, and I'm sure you've seen it, the actual official statement. It says, "Today we completed the removal of the Kate Smith statue from its former location outside of our arena." That's the last line. I would be willing to bet that the person who dictated this statement or wrote it, him or herself, doesn't believe one word of it. That would be my guess. But they're in a no-win situation, and for them they're hiding now, as you say. That doesn't surprise me. But they can't win, Kate, Christine. They can't win.
They can't.
Because they're racist if they don't agree with this.
Well, but that's the problem, John. And that's why last night I spent so much time on it. It's not a sports story.
No.
This isn't your typical LeBron James or Joel Embiid or Mario Lemieux or, they're not, their numbers are bad. No, this is anything but a sports story. This is a cultural phenomenon that is very scary that's been happening over the past few years. And to me, I was going to open up with this story yesterday. I didn't because of the bombing in Sri Lanka. I mean, that was the big story of the day, and the persecution of Christians worldwide.
The Easter worshippers, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Easter worshippers.
I'll get to that in a minute,
That's horrific. That's absolutely. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of Ilhan Omar talking about buildings like Notre Dame as architectural wonders instead of. And I'm a Roman Catholic. I'm a practicing Roman Catholic. And when I heard that, it just, the scream that came out of me. I mean, the arrogance of that woman, the arrogance of President Obama, the arrogance of Hillary Clinton, the arrogance of people. I mean, I don't mean to segue into the whole religion issue now, but
it's kind of tied together. It's the same. It's virtue signaling and all kinds of stuff that's going on. It's just nauseating.
It is. It is nauseating. That's the best word that you can use for it. That's why it's important for people in Philadelphia, and I keep urging them to do this, to make their voices known. We probably will not get that statue back. We probably will not hear Kate Smith's voice again. But you know what? This better not be a story that bubbles up for a day, and then, as the suits hope, it will just disappear. The Frank Rizzo statue controversy, which I talked to you, I think I talked to you about that in the past, that didn't just disappear. And guess what? That statue's still there. That hasn't been moved yet. The Frank Rizzo statue is still there, and they're still trying to figure out when they're going to move it. And I'm thinking that they're hoping that that one is actually going to die down, and the people who want the statue moved aren't going to be able to do anything. Because if they tried to move that statue, John, I told you, I said I would chain myself to that statue, and they would have to move me wherever they're moving that statue, because it's a principle. It's not something where you can say, oh, it's just architecture, or it's just a song, or it's an old dead lady. It's about the sensibilities and respect that you owe to people who have certain value sets, who are not racist, who respect Western civilization, and who understand what the heck context is. I mean, for God's sake. And one other thing that I wanted to say. Right next door to us in New Jersey, Rutgers University just dedicated a pavilion to Paul Robeson. You know, Paul Robeson, beautiful baritone voice, Old Man River, and he was also a human rights activist of a sort in the United States during the 30s and the 20s, 30s, 40s, Jim Crow. He was very angry.
And a black man.
In the United States. He was a black man, very, very famous black man, who also sang the same racist songs, the exact same racist songs that Kate Smith sang, but also he went to the Soviet Union, became very good friends with Joseph Stalin, became what they call a useful idiot with the propagandizing of how great the Soviet Union was, ignored the fact that Ukrainians were being starved, ignored the fact of the gulags and the kind of man that Stalin was. Paul Robeson was a Marxist, and yet he is being lauded, naming a pavilion after him at Rutgers University here in New Jersey, next door in New Jersey, and it boggles the mind that a woman who sang two songs, which probably she didn't even want to sing them because, it was her record label or whoever it was that was managing her. She didn't go out and choose those songs because she sang two songs out of a 3,000-song repertoire. She is deep sixth. I find that to be hypocrisy. I find that to be, as you great word you use, nauseating, disgusting, and for that reason, we can't let these things go. So I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do to make our voices heard, rallies, boycotts of the Flyers. I tell you now, any possible thing I can do to stand up against the Flyers, I will do it. I changed my Facebook profile photo. It says, Go Devils. Anything and everything I can possibly do to undermine the Flyers, I will do it, because I'm so outraged at the disrespect that they have shown to the people of Philadelphia.
And at what point, I only have about a minute and a half left here, and I'm up against a hard break, but at what point will people be able to, of all races, be able to understand that that they should just wise up and judge icons by how they lived relative to what was considered okay when they were alive, and what the world was that they were born into? How long is it going to take for people to figure that out? I got about 30 seconds. Sorry.
I can give you an answer. It doesn't take 10 seconds. Never, because it doesn't help. It doesn't help their agendas. I mean, the what do I call them? The institutional victims, people who will consider themselves victims no matter how far they have advanced in their human trajectory. Don't you know that women were still victims? Hashtag Me Too, hashtag Time's Up, hashtag just shut up about it all,
Yep, Christine, my time's up. Christine Flowers, thanks a lot as always. We'll have you on again. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Bye.
All right, see you. Bye. We'll be back.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Supreme Court's going to be looking at LGBT demands on whether sexual orientation and so-called gender identity fall under civil rights laws. Attorney John Bursch of the Christian legal group Alliance Defending Freedom says changing Title VII will have grave consequences.
It will force businesses and schools to open spaces like showers, restrooms, and locker rooms to people of the opposite sex. It will undermine critical advancements for women by giving sports scholarships and other educational opportunities that they've earned to men who identify as women.
The cases will be argued in the fall, with decisions likely by June 2020 in the middle of the presidential election campaign. One of the cases involves a funeral home employee who was fired after disclosing that he intended to dress as a woman while on the job. A mixed day on Wall Street as the Dow was down by 48 points, but the Nasdaq rose 17 and the S&P advanced 3. This is SRN News.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-607-3551. That's 800-607-3551. 800-607-3551. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Dennis Prager can always explain the left.
They accuse their foes of a Manichaean worldview of right and wrong, good and evil, black and white. It is so utterly false. Every leftist is a child. Not every liberal, every leftist. And children do not deal well with the ambiguities of life.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sebastian Gorka at 3 on AM 1250. The Answer.
You're an insurance agent. You're also an entrepreneur looking to grow. And what better way to grow than by being your own boss? Owning your own Farmers Insurance Agency has been called one of the best small business opportunities in America. With a nationally respected brand, award-winning training, and your personal experienced business coach, your opportunity to grow is unlimited. No franchise fees required. Visit beafarmersagent.com and start growing.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Are you tired of your old and drafty windows and doors? Pella offers 3 lines of vinyl, a fiberglass product, and various lines of wood. So we have gorgeous new windows and doors to fit your needs and any budget. You deserve Pella quality. And for a limited time, get 50% off installation and 12 months, no payments, no interest. Yeah, we can do that. Call 855-77-PELLA. We'll come to you. PellaPittsburgh.com.
Hey there, gun lovers. Here's an exciting opportunity to celebrate your Second Amendment freedoms at the #1 destination for American gun owners. It only happens once a year, so don't miss out. This is your chance to claim your discounted tickets to the Concealed Carry Expo coming to Pittsburgh the weekend of May 17th through the 19th. It'll be an action-packed 3-day event at the David Lawrence Convention Center you don't want to miss. Text EXPO to the number 87222 right now to lock in your discounted tickets and to learn more. It's that easy, and you'll get exclusive access to check out new guns and gear, a free live fire range, reality-based training simulator, training, and much, much more. Plus, if you register right now, you'll also get your free Responsibly Armed American t-shirt made by 9 Line Apparel. It's a high-quality shirt with a limited edition design. But that ends very soon. Don't get left behind. Hurry and text EXPO to the number 87222 to get your tickets now. That's the word EXPO to the number 87222.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer.
On the Parkway East, got some heavy volume inbound at Squirrel Hill. There's an accident blocking that ramp, and outbound slowing down Portland Avenue to the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. Parkway West, that's some busy volume on the inbound side, Green Tree to the Fort Pitt Tunnel, and outbound from 79 to Campbell's Run Road. In Etna, got a fire working. Now, this is inbound on Route 8. One lane is blocked because of that. And an accident in Homestead, 8th Avenue at Hayes Street. That's a look at traffic. I'm Jenny Robinson.
AM 1250, The Answer. Weather.
Patchy clouds for tonight, a low temperature of 51. For tomorrow, warm and breezy, intervals of clouds and sunshine. An afternoon, heavy shower or thunderstorm in spots, a high of 74. For tomorrow night, a shower or thunderstorm lingering into the evening, then turning out clear late, remaining breezy with a low of 45. For Wednesday, mostly sunny skies and a high of 65. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Jake Soja.
The John Steigerwald Show, AM 1250, The Answer.
I want to spend some time now on a project that AM 1250 The Answer is involved in. You'll be hearing about it here for the next few months, actually. And it's the Miracle League of Moon Township and the construction of a Miracle League athletic field for kids with special needs. There are other Miracle League fields in this area. You're probably familiar with some of them, but they're filled to capacity, and this one in Moon will be for kids from school districts like Montour, West Allegheny, Moon, Sewickley, and schools in Beaver County and even in Weirton and Steubenville. The fields are designed to make it possible for kids with special needs to play sports, and Rocky Bleier is involved with making all this possible, and he joins us now. Rocky, how you doing?
Hey, John, fine. I am. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah.
Nice to hear your voice. Yeah.
So how did you get involved with this, Rock?
Mike Magula, who is the driver behind this, and his wife, Christina. Actually, I had met Mike. He coached my nephew in hockey. As a young hockey player in grade school and so on. And so I've known him through that, from that period of time. And then we stayed in touch. But ultimately, when he decided that this was going to be his next project, to be able to bring Miracle League up to Moon, over into Moon Township, so he called. And said, "Hey, can you be involved in some nature or another?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd be happy to." So you've probably seen some of our ads that we've done to at least bring attention to the Miracle League, and especially that field in Moon. And so I've been involved. Part and part, what we also bring is that I did those commercials with Jim Leland and Edgar Snyder. And again, it was basically to get people in the community aware, and also the need, and also a foundation of donations to be able to make this a reality. So people can go to the Miracle League of Moon Township website just to find out backgrounds of what's taken place. But I'm also in the construction business, and I have a service-disabled veteran-owned business, and so it was a great avenue for us to be able to bring some of that expertise from my people to Mike and help them establish a schedule, how we're going to do this, what it needs to be done from a construction end point of view, and donated our time and efforts to be able to bring that a reality so that people know that you're getting the right kind of field that's done and the best equipment that's available. So we're on target. Fundraising has continued. We've got some great people that have been involved with the Pirates Charities, are tremendously involved. People's Gas, the Township of Moon is donating time and effort as well. Robert Morris is universities involved, and we've got some major fundraisers that for foundations, I should say, that have committed to help this project. So the project is on its way. We will be playing baseball this September. And then that's the first phase, and we're continuing to build on to the second phase, and that is to bring a playground to that area as well. So the field is universal to be able to be played not only in baseball leagues, but then ultimately in soccer and other sports within the area in which everybody gets a chance to compete and play. And so it's a great thing to be involved. I'm so happy to be able to, rather than just lending a name, but also lending some expertise to making this a reality.
We're talking to Rocky Bleier. He's involved in getting this Miracle League of Moon Township started up. Sean Casey was involved with the former Pirate and Tiger and Cincinnati Reds player. He they built a really nice field in Upper St. Clair, and so why is it important for kids to be part of a team, Rocky? And how does this the community get involved with this? Because it involves the kids with special needs, but it also involves the kids who don't have special needs.
Well, that's right. It becomes a place that everybody can play and be involved. That it gives kids, whether it be underprivileged kids as well as special needs kids, but everybody. And here's the theme about the Miracle League: is that every child, no matter what the situation, deserves a chance to be able to play, to compete, and have a place, to be able to go that's safe, that takes care of needs, but that it's organized and it's a structure there. With this one, as you were talking about Sean Casey in the South Hills, this will be the fourth Miracle League field that will be built, and so that now has. Now we have team competition. Now we got 4 places to be able to travel to and go, and so it broadens the whole interest of sports and what it does for community, and the ability to have a place like this that's safe, that's taken care of, that takes care of all family needs. So if somebody's playing, there's a playground over here which kids can participate in, and I think that it's just terrific. I mean, for a community to do that.
Now, I was reading up on this, and there's a buddy system that I thought was pretty impressive. What's that all about?
So the buddy system is that kids with special needs have a buddy. Can be a child who's in school. For instance, my daughter, who is now a sophomore in college, has been a buddy since high school, and it's amazing. Is that if she's involved, she's got a buddy. She goes and and rather than have an adult, it's like having an older brother or sister, that's there and is involved with you, and so it's like having a friend. And it's amazing what the buddy system does, not only for both parties. And so my daughter came back, and she was moved by her buddies, the fact that she's giving back, but more importantly, what she learns from them, and so it's really good. So anyway, so that obviously gave me another impetus to become involved, because here's another arena for people to be able to be involved and to join the buddy system, and be with these kids that all they want to do is they want to play and just be like everyone else and have a league and go out there and be a part of it. And so that's basically what the buddy system is.
And the website is miraclesinmoon.org. A couple more questions here, Rocky. You were disabled yourself for a while after coming back from Vietnam. When you came back from there, does that help you relate to the struggle when you see these kids? I mean, even though some of their needs and their disabilities are permanent, it's about accommodating them and not letting them live as close to a normal life as possible.
Well, that's and I think that we, just as a human race or as people, we've had our all ups and downs. Some of them aren't necessarily have to be physical, but emotionally, we have gone through, trials and tribulations even in your own lives, and so you can relate. Yeah, obviously, mine was a physical one coming back, and but the fact is that in my realm is that the end picture was that, okay, fine, I might not be able to play football, but I'm going to have somewhat of a normal life, but those young men and women who are destined to be in a wheelchair for the rest of their lives because of some illness or physical difficulty. Why can't they be involved? Why can't they play? Why can't they be there? With a buddy system coming in. And so, I think that we've just become more aware of what's out there and the needs, and that everybody, has human dignity of being able to participate rather than be shunned aside because of a difficulty that they're facing or going through.
We're talking to Rocky Bleier. He's involved with the Miracle League of Moon Township. We'll be telling you more about this as the summer goes along, and you can check it out at miraclesandmoon.org. Rocky, I got to ask you about something before I let you go here. I was thinking about something today, and I know you're a guy who's always had a sense of humor about your career and the fact that what you overcame and all that stuff and where you came from and what a great career you had. But it occurred to me today that the draft is coming up on Thursday. There are 7 rounds in the draft. There were 17 rounds in 1968 when you were drafted, and you were picked in the 16th. So, I mean, we see on ESPN now these guys sitting around waiting for the phone call. Like, what do you remember about that day? And, the 15 rounds have gone by and nobody picked you yet.
Well, it wasn't even so. Okay, so I'll take you back 50 years in time to sitting around. And okay, the draft wasn't, as big as it is now. Wait, I think last year, 23 million people watched the draft, on television. I think it was never on television.
No, you didn't make primetime TV.
We didn't make primetime TV. So here's the deal. So Friday was the first 5 rounds, and the Saturday they quickly, went through the next 5 or, and then Sunday, which was the end of the draft. Okay. So, you're smart enough to understand, all right, I'm not a first pick. I'm not a first rounder, in that regard. And so somewhere then you hear a couple of your friends who you played with, got drafted in the 5th round or the 6th round, or the 7th round. And, okay, fine. You think, oh, maybe I should be there. Well, then Sunday comes out. Okay, so Sunday it's like, it's not even, you're not even watching it. So we go out to dinner. And I'm just going to say that my roommate, and another friend who happened to be in Columbus, Ohio, another player. So the 3 of us have gone out to dinner with a family who lived in South Bend. So after dinner, we come back to their house, and we're having gin and tonics, and we're just talking. And we're talking about the end of the season because the draft was in February.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was early.
Rather than April late, it was early. So we were talking about, we just come back at break, and so we're talking about what the rest of the semester, what are you going to do, so on and so on. And so then all of a sudden, the 10 o'clock news came on. And then the sports, and we're just kind of talking sport. Today in the NFL draft, several people from the area were drafted into the National Football League, so and so, from Purdue, local guys, so and so, and Bob Rocky Bleier, captain of the Notre Dame team, is drafted number 16 by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
411th pick, I think you were, something like that.
417th.
417th.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There was a pause in our discussion. People said, "Hey, congratulations." Anyway, so what do you think about this teacher or this class? And it was blown over. So I didn't get any phone calls. There was no media there, covering my reaction. So things have changed over the years.
Well, let me ask you, and we only have about a minute left here. You were a 16th round pick. I looked at that draft, and there were only 4 guys other than you. Only 4 guys. Not including you, lasted in the league longer than 3 years. And you had 11, I think it was 11 years you did?
Right, yeah.
So I got about 45 seconds left here. What did you think your chances were as you were driving east to Pittsburgh?
I did. I had, honestly, God, I didn't even think about it. I didn't think, what my chances were. It's just that I got drafted. Okay, hopefully, we'll go there. We'll just see what happens. That's all. Just see what happens.
Well, but did you consider? Did it ever just 16th round? The hell with that. I'm not driving. I'm never going to make the team. Why am I going there?
No, never. I never even thought about that. I was glad to be drafted or have the opportunity, and coming to Pittsburgh. And I didn't know anything about Pittsburgh at all. Not that I would have known anything about any other team as well, except for the Green Bay Packers. But I didn't. And so it was really like a shot in the dark. I'm just going. I'm going to go see what. As a matter of fact, I had packed my car. I brought my golf clubs, and honest to God, if it didn't work out, I was just continuing on down to Florida. That was my move. I was coming here, see what happens, and then from there, I was going to go to Florida and see what happens here.
Well, hey
and
Rocky,
I had no plans for the rest of my life.
And it worked out okay for you.
It worked out okay.
Yeah. Well, I remember back in 1968, and when they made that pick in the 16th round, I said, that guy is going to play on 4 Super Bowl teams and become a hero in this town. Nobody would listen to me.
That's right.
I knew, Rocky.
Rightly so.
Right. Hey, Rocky, thanks, and we'll be talking to you again about this project. Appreciate you coming on to talk about it.
Yeah, and it's always nice to talk to you. Thank you for having me.
All right, man.
I appreciate
Take it easy.
Thanks.
Rocky Bleier, and we'll be right back. Have you heard the crack of the bat, the cheers of the crowd? Have you seen the smiles on the faces of the players as they take the field? I'm not talking about the Pirates. I'm talking about what's happening in Moon Township that can only be described as a miracle. This is John Steigerwald. With the help of Pirates charities and people like yourself, the Miracle League of Moon Township has broken ground on a brand new ball field and adaptive playground where athletes with special needs can play regardless of their ability. At miraclesinmoon.org, you can see these stunning plans for the 9,500 square foot playground and state-of-the-art ADA-compliant restroom facility with showers, wave technology, multi-level fountains and sinks, mechanical changing tables, and more. It's incredible. Our goal? To raise the remaining funds they need to bring it home by first pitch this September. Check it out at miraclesinmoon.org/donate and make your tax-deductible gift today. That's miraclesinmoon.org/donate. This message paid for by Robinson Town Center, a Zamias Properties entity.
Restricting free speech is restricting truth. The far left has crossed a line, silencing conservatives across America. Shadow banning on Twitter and Facebook. Blocked ads on YouTube. Restricted searches on Google. Prager University. Why isn't it fully available everywhere? All of these are direct attacks on our First Amendment rights. It's time for conservative America to wake up. You have a choice. You can fight back with veteran-led PatriotMobile.com, America's only conservative cell phone company. Every phone call protects your constitutional rights. Every bill that you pay fights for your freedom. Get the same reliable nationwide coverage you already have, and know that your hard-earned money is supporting conservative organizations like the Heritage Foundation, PragerU, and Alliance Defending Freedom. With plans starting as low as $25 a month, why wait? Call 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Use the word HUGH, or visit patriotmobile.com/HUGH to waive your activation fee. We will not be silent. Join me and thousands of Americans. Switch to Patriot Mobile today and let freedom ring.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3366 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3366. Enjoy.
This is the John Steigerwald Show on AM 1250. The Answer.
Well, we started the show with a theme of stupidity. I think I'll finish with this. This is Brittany Cooper. She's a Rutgers University professor, okay? And I don't know what she is. She's associated professor of women's and gender studies and Africana studies. Just get a degree in that and then complain about your wage gap. But pay, $60,000 to get it. But in an interview with NPR last week, Cooper said that the way, quote, we position ourselves in relationships to time comes out of histories of European and Western thought. In other words, white people own time. So time is racist. Time has a history, and so do black people, but we treat time as though it is timeless, as though it has always been this. This is a person teaching a class. We treat time as though it is timeless, as though it has always been this way, as though it doesn't have a political history bound up with the plunder of indigenous lands. I don't know. I look at my watch, okay? I don't have a watch anymore, but when I used to have one, I look at my phone for the time. And when I look at the time, do I go, geez, it's 5:56. But what about the indigenous people? I can't just look at my phone or my watch or the clock on the wall up there and say it's almost 5:57 now. But I'm sorry, Brittany, but you know what we're out of right now? Time. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
The John Steigerwald Show is a production of AM 1250, The Answer, and Salem Media Group.
You're an insurance agent. You're also an entrepreneur looking to grow. And what better way to grow than by being your own boss?